Namaste, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. You're tuned into this edition of The Right Stand with me, Anand Narasimhan. The 8th of February is a big day when Delhi election results will be declared. What will be verdict Delhi? Most pollsters have predicted its advantage the BJP, but the clear picture will be out on result day when the Election Commission declares what the mind of the Delhi voter has decided. Tune in to CNN News 18 for the accurate analysis of the verdict on Super Saturday. Real news results on News 18. On the right stand this evening, we focus towards the south, a contentious issue that has grabbed headlines over the last week. Tamil Nadu's sacred hill site is at the center of a dispute. Hindu groups claim for the past 1 month that Islamic groups have been instigating unrest at the Tirupati Malai hills. Now, where the most revered Sri Subramanya Swami temple is located, which is the foremost of the 6 divine abodes of Lord Murugan. Islamic groups assert that they have equal rights to the Tirupati Malai due to the presence of a dargah named after Sultan Sikandar Shahid Waliullah Badshah on the other side of the hill located near the Kashi Vishwanathan temple. Islamic groups call this hill, the Tirupati Malai, as Sikandar Malai. On the 27th of December, a group of Muslims from Rajapalayam, along with SDPI cadre, attempted to ascend the Tirupati Malai with goats and roosters intended for a ritual sacrifice at the dargah. Subsequently, on the 5th of January, a group of SDPI cadre and Jamaat members created ruckus at the base of the Tirupati Malai, demanding access to the dargah for Muslims to conduct namaz. The tension further escalated when associates of the Indian Union Muslim League MP Nawaz Ghani intentionally consumed non-vegetarian food to hurt the sentiments of Hindus during his visit to the Tirupati Malai. On the 3rd of February, anti-Hindu activists submitted a memorandum to the district collector demanding prohibition on the protest organized by Hindu Munani. The district collector thereafter imposed Section 144, which restricted gatherings and prohibited the Hindu Munani protest. The protest took place. The High Court granted permission. Hindus have been worshipping Lord Subramanya Swami or Lord Murugan at the Tirupati Malai for thousands of years. In contrast, for the past 200 years, there has been an attempt by Muslims to grab this hill, sacred to Sanatan Astha, by erecting a dargah in the name of Sultan Sikandar Shahid Waliullah Badshah. Now, they have fabricated a narrative that Sultan Sikandar Badshah travelled from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia to Tamil Nadu in the 12th century to spread Islam among Hindus and was killed by a Pandya king in a battle at the Tirupati Malai. On Thursday, the Madurai police registered a case against BJP leader H. Raja for allegedly making an inciting speech during the Tirupati protests, where DMK accused the party of attempting to incite riots. The DMK said the protest was unwarranted and accused the BJP of seeking political mileage from a non-issue. BJP's Tamil Nadu chief, K. Annamalai, however, rejected the allegations, claiming that the protest was peaceful and accused the DMK of appeasement politics and objected to the alleged consumption of non-vegetarian food on the hill. Is there a deliberate attempt to politicize a matter of astha? Are these Islamic groups who have suddenly sprouted and reached there to try and claim ownership of this hill and control over this hill getting political backing? YG Madhuvanti, BJP leader Tamil Nadu, should be joining us. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, Darwinian atheist, political commentator with us, and Pulla Rao, political analyst, also with us. My namaste, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat to everybody. Thank you very much. Dr. Ranganathan, the religious character of a particular place has also been enshrined even into the POW Act 1991.
Yes. Good evening,
So,
Anand, and good evening to my
what
fellow-
is
Sorry.
and the DMK, the ruling disposition in Tamil Nadu, believes the protests to counter groups that are wanting to come and occupy that place are the ones who want to incite riots.
Good evening, Anand, as I was saying, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, things become very strange the moment the shoe is on the other foot. Now, these are the very same people who are now trying to claim this sacred Hindu hill. But for them, the places of worship does not apply. These are the same people who have seen, who have witnessed, who have read what has been written in authentic biographies, that Aurangzeb demolished the Kashi Vishwanath temple and built on it a mosque that is called Gyan Vyapi Mosque. These are the same people who forbid Hindus to worship there. And right now they are trying to claim something that has been for more than 1,000 years exclusively Hindu. But as I said, and I repeat this, I don't blame them, because they are, how can I say, bracketed, prisoners is a wrong word, bracketed by the diktats of what religion they follow. I don't blame them, because the religion demands from them exactly what they are trying to do. There is, and Dr. Ambedkar has written exclusively on this and explicitly on this, there is Dar al-Harb and there is Dar al-Islam. And it is an obligation on every Muslim not only to convert a non-Muslim, because then he goes to heaven, but also to convert every Dar al-Harb into Dar al-Islam. So I'm not blaming them. I'm trying to say that where are those people who say that this country does not run by Sharia but by Constitution? Where are they? Are they asleep? Because I think they are. This is, as it is, a country where Hindus have their hands tied behind their back, where it is Hindus who have to bear the brunt of the Constitution, legal provisions, actively discriminating against 1 billion people. These are the people who have their hands tied behind their backs because only their places of worship are controlled by the state. It's only their schools that are being shut down because they only have the obligation of reserving 25% seats for the economically weaker section. It's only they who cannot reclaim their places of worship that have been demolished to Place of Worship Act. It's only they who remain in their majority country, 700,000 refugees in their own land. These are the people who have their hands tied behind their back, and now they are being blamed of usurping something that was always theirs. So, you can only wake a person who is sleeping genuinely, not one who's pretending to be asleep. And right now, I'm afraid it is the state that is pretending to be asleep.
The Dargah is claimed to be the person who came from Saudi Arabia to convert the locals. Not to preach, to convert. Otherwise, why would he have fought a war with the local Pandya king, Pulla Rao? So, where is this entire Dravidian faith celebrating the Tamil culture of the Yor and the great kings, the Chola and the Pandya kings of Tamil Nadu? Where is that gone for the DMK?
As it is, I heard Dr. Ranganathan speak, and there are a lot of things he says which I don't disagree with. What has happened now is the perfect law and order. The state government, they can defend themselves, but from what gleans from the whole thing, nobody is allowed to go up. Or even the minority community was put in its place. They can't go up. They can't do all kinds of things. The law is working there, and the constitution, which Dr. Ranganathan so fondly quotes, it is being implemented there. There's law and order. People are demonstrating, and of course, we're all prisoners of history. History is something we can't get away from. We don't have to go far. I think just 10 years ago, the famous Sophia Church in Istanbul has changed hands for how many number of times? It changed hands. Now it's become a mosque from a church.
So is Tamil Nadu equal to Turkey today?
No, let me finish. A minute. Tamil Nadu is not equal to Turkey. I'm quoting an example of that we're prisoners of history, and we have to very cautiously come out of it. We have to come out of it very cautiously. And this is a large country, and we have to be sensitive. And any rupture, any future ruptures, it won't do us good. You have to very cautiously.
So a temple that stands there for thousands of years, and the hill is part of the temple, there was some of the temple property. And then 200 years ago, somebody forcefully decides to create, tomorrow somebody will put a dargah at any particular place in the name of any particular person, and then you would say, no, you have to be sensitive to that. What logic is this, sir?
The logic goes back that it was history, and you and I weren't alive 200 years ago, and the British had a hand and continuous hand as an institution in history. They created ruptures, they created all of that. We do face problems. of history today.
So is the Tamil
And
Nadu
all I
government
say,
equal to the British, or is the Tamil Nadu government equal to
no,
Turkey
it's
today?
not equivalent to the British. It is a government. It is continuing
No.
a different kind of government. Different kind of kings ruled us earlier. Different kind of
What
rulers were
action,
there
sir,
in
has
Delhi
been taken
earlier.
against the SDPI, against the
No,
IUML?
they have. It is, there's peaceful, there's peace there. They've controlled it in a very, very strong
Has the
way.
DMK said that the SDPI is trying to vitiate the atmosphere?
They
Has the
nobody.
DMK
The
said
government,
that the
the
leader,
collector,
IUML leader who came there and
the
tried to have consumed
collector,
non-vegetarian food
the
is violative of the
collector,
law? Has he been put under various actions of Public Safety Act, etc., like it was
yes,
done with
they
the
have.
BJP
They
leaders in
have.
the recent past?
I was surprised that the government there, the local administration there, has been very firm, very firm. And there are things there which not come out of papers. They've been very firm and very faithful to the law.
Okay, let me ask YG Madhuvanti. Has the local establishment and
very
the
quickly-
local administration been very firm? Dr. Ranganathan coming after YG Madhuvanti.
Sure.
Sir, totally on the contrary to whatever Mr. Pularao said, it was the local government that went after 350 homes of BJP workers in and around Madurai and started arresting them from early in the morning because they were extremely worried about how this entire peaceful protest was going to happen. And then at 3 p.m., they all had to just, cow down and run away behind trees because the court gave them the permission, and within 1 hour you had an en masse 3 lakh people standing there and peacefully protesting about this, and the chants of Vetrivel Murugan Karohara that was heard across that area is unbelievable what happened. And not one act of vandalism, not one property of the government, not one bus burnt, none of this happened. Everybody protested peacefully, gathered instantly and protested peacefully. This is what happened. And very, very ironically, I must say that in 1931, when the Privy Council said that this hill belongs to the Mandir, it was the British Raj at that point in time. But right now, I am looking at the way the DMK is functioning. I really don't know what they are up to, because all they want to do is minority appeasement. How do you allow a constitutionally elected MP to even post a tweet of this kind, sir? Is this acceptable? Is this the way you question the faith of 85% of the majority of this country? I mean, I'm completely in agreement with Mr. Anand Ranganathan when he says, I mean, why are the Hindus of this country all the time afraid to do something in their own country? This is becoming the matter of the every day. Be it an election, be it a temple, be it anything, it is all about, my God, I'm a Hindu, I have to be worried in my own Rashtra. But I mean, when I go to another country, I have to obey the laws and be a minority there. And you're talking about minorities not being hurt and that everything was being fair. What happened to Mr. Pularao when the Bangladeshi Hindus were getting hurt, sir? I don't remember Mr.
Government here.
talking.
No. Pularao is not the Prime Minister of India. Pularao is not the Prime Minister of India
at all.
No, Pularao is not the Prime Minister of India.
Pularao is not the Chief
If I was
Minister
the Prime
Tamil Nadu
Minister of
either.
India, I would have taken action.
If you were
I'm
the
not the
Chief
Prime
Minister
Minister
of
of
Tamil
India.
Nadu, what would you do?
You should ask the Prime Minister why
here is the
If you were
counter
the
or
Chief
the
Minister of
explanation,
Tamil Nadu,
Madhu.
what would you
No,
do?
here is the counter explanation to that argument that you made, that Bangladeshi Hindus, so they are Bangladeshi, they are not Indians. So the fact is whether they are Hindu, Muslim does not matter. When it comes to Tamil Nadu, it is between two groups within Bharat itself, and there is a sense. So there it becomes about nationality and identity, and there it is not religion. So in this case, my suggestion is, if the Britishers in 1931 said that the hill belongs to the temple, why is the dargah still there? Now, is that not the level of tolerance and inclusion of the Hindu samudaya in Tamil Nadu, which says, all right, we'll peacefully coexist, but don't disrespect our Lord, don't disrespect this hill, don't respect this. In Sabrimala also, there is a Vavar and there is a mosque which is there, and people still go on the route to Sabrimala. That's the inclusive aspect.
Sir, I'd also
But is that a two-way street? What respect have these SDI, SDPI and these IUML people shown to the respect, the two-way street, when they have deliberately tried to take and do bali and sacrifice on that hill, which they know does not belong to them? And there is not supposed to be any murtis puja or idolatry worship. going to a dargah to worship. It's a mausoleum, it's a death area, it's a graveyard of somebody. It's not actually allowed as far as the tenets, original tenets. It's only one offshoot which believes in it. That's the Sufi Samudaya. Is the IUML Sufi? Is the SDPI Sufi? They are actually Salafi. They follow absolutely a radical offshoot of Sunni Islam. What are they doing there, and if it is not a deliberate attempt to rabble-rouse? So is the DMK and the DMK's minority minister and the DMK's ruling ministers and lawmakers not even aware of these sectarian differences within Islam? Dr. Ranganathan.
Yes, I'd like to make a couple of points with due respect to my good friend Mr. Pula Rao, and he does make some substantive points. But, when he says we are all prisoners of history, I'm afraid, Mr. Rao, in this country, we are prisoners of distorted history. We are brainwashed because, with due respect, how conveniently you say that, look, what was church once has become a mosque in Turkey. I'm sorry. It was demolished ruthlessly, and it has become a mosque after the church was demolished. Likewise, you will say what was Kashi Vishwanath temple once has now, through the passage of time and history and grains of sand and all those Wordsworthian quotes, what was temple first has now become mosque. No. History is unkind, and it is even more unkind if you are brainwashed. So please, let us go by facts. The fact of the matter is all historical accounts say that the hill belongs to the temple. Now, I am, as I say, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. If I want Hindus to be able to approach the courts to claim what they believe is theirs, then I believe that this matter also should be settled by the courts. If the Muslims believe that their dargah should stand there, obviously all historical accounts are against them, but still, let them go to the court. But for them to desecrate the hill, to deliberately do things to offend the other community, I am afraid A is wrong, but B, you would also believe, as I've said, is entirely in keeping with antagonizing the faith that does not belong to them. That is a fact.
I make comments. Okay, you're 100% correct. I keep, it's very odd, I keep agreeing with you. Though we may be having, I keep agreeing with you.
My wife does it.
No, sir.
in 1931, a group of Hindus went there. The collector was one man named Paddison, and they decided to go to court. They demanded it should be settled in a court of law. A delegation of noted Hindus. Let this be settled in a court of law. You're 100% correct.
So it was settled. No? It is already settled,
no,
right?
It wasn't settled. It was.
The British deemed.
It was not in a court of law. If I just want to have one more word, I don't want to. There's a nice argument, and it can be you go to court. That's like the records, land records, all kinds of other records. I 100% agree.
The record says that the British awarded and said that the land belongs to the Hindus and it belongs to the temple.
No,
it belongs to the temple. There was some in 1931.
That was the British collector.
Yeah.
British.
So the British. No. Why should the British? Why do you need to go to court when the matter is settled? And then the matter is further settled by the argument made by the Muslim Paksh with respect to all other claims by the Hindu Paksh that as per the Places of Worship Act. No. 1 second, sir. As per the Places of Worship Act 1991, the original religious character as on 15th August 1947 should be maintained. Now, as on 15th August 1947, this place was deemed a property of the Devasam, and the property of the Devasam is the presiding deity is Lord Murugan. So that hill belongs to Lord Murugan. What is the dargah doing there, and why should something for us, Sultan Waliullah, somebody from Arabia come? And the other thing, sir, this Sultan Waliullah, please go back and tell me, was he a Sunni or was he a Sufi?
God knows.
So what is the dargah doing in the name of a Sunni, sir? Because it is not allowed in Islam as far as the Sunni said.
Narasimhan, let me talk. Otherwise, I won't talk. I am not trying to engage in an argument. You give nice respect to those others. If you don't want me to talk, I won't talk.
No, I am asking you questions. If you are telling me that I don't have the right to ask you questions, then sir, then you are behaving like the Turkish.
Your question is 3 minutes long. I should reply for 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
It is not as if I am overawed by your argument. I am not at all.
No, so neither am I swayed by your neither am I swayed by your smooth talk and sugar coated conversation.
It has to go to court. It has to be settled by court. Constitution, whatever it is.
So, are you telling this to the SDPI? Are you telling this to the
Everyone,
IUML?
everyone,
Are you telling them what they
everyone.
did is wrong? Are you accepting what they did is wrong?
Everyone.
That they deliberately provoked?
I have no hesitation in saying dispute should go to court.
No,
Everybody should
please
listen
have no
and-
hesitation in saying that the SDPI is wrong. Please have
I'm
no
not saying
hesitation
you're
in
right.
saying that the
I am
IUML
not
is saying.
right. The court will decide it.
No.
The court will decide.
Who started the provocation?
If
So
they-
you
if
must
they
say
call
that it's the
No,
SDPI
if
that
they-
started the
I don't
provocation.
know.
You
You
must
see,
say
very
that the
straight.
IUML started the provocation.
It is
Why?
Who am I to pronounce that they are right or
Now, here,
or
who am I
wrong?
to come out? But on the other
who am
hand,
I?
with
I
respect
want
to
them
the
to go to
Hindus, you are
court.
very fair to comment.
No,
With
the
respect to the
court
DMK responding very
No, they should
swiftly,
go-
you were
they
ready to
should go
comment
to
there.
court.
There you
are
had an
not in a
opinion.
position-
Here you don't have
No,
an
you
opinion.
can't decide it. You
No,
can't decide
I'm asking
it. It
you.
should be decided.
I'm asking you. Why don't you have an opinion
I
where it is
believe it should go to
inconvenient,
court.
and why do you have an opinion where it is
No,
convenient?
always. I'm always for court.
Yeah.
All my views are. it is
No,
court,
but you
the
you
law,
just decided
law of
as
the
judge
land
and jury
should
that the
settle it.
DMK has done a fantastic job and the
No,
local
no, what
administration
no?
has
They
done. You
admitted
didn't
it.
say let the court decide. The
No,
court
in
decided they had not
history-
done a good job.
No,
The court
in
decided
history-
that the Hindu Munani
You
group
are not
should be
letting
allowed
me
to
talk.
protest. So
No, you're
clearly
not
they
letting
went
me
against
talk.
what
No, it's not
what the
fair.
DMK government
It is
said.
not a fair argument. I can't be called down by you or by anybody.
No.
It's not fair.
So why
You
should
call
I
down
take?
some other
Why should
people.
I have the not
It's
have the
not-
right
it's
to
not
question
right.
your logic, sir?
You should talk.
Why should I not have the question? I have the right to
Why
question you
can't
when
I-
you take
why
an
can't I
unfair
reply
point of
to
view.
you? Have
When
you
you
called me
pass
here?
judgment, when you pass an opinion
No,
on
it
the
is
state
not.
government, but you
No,
stay
are
clear
talking
of passing an
wrongly.
opinion on what the
No,
SDPI
you're
did.
talking wrongly.
Why?
This is not the way an anchor should behave. You should
No,
talk.
so if you're going to teach
should
me
wait
what an
to
anchor
answer
should do,
it.
sir,
No.
I'm going to
No,
very respectfully ask you,
naturally-
what should you do as a
naturally I have
neutral
to defend
analyst?
my reputation.
What should you do?
No, you don't
What
I
should
am
you
not
do as a
covering
neutral
people.
analyst? What should you do as an
I am
analyst?
not
Should you not look at the
covering
facts and
before
take a
you.
position,
Your
sir?
arguments are whitewashed. Nothing. You're not letting me talk.
Oh no.
You
So
can't hector me
what?
like this.
No,
No,
my
no, you
point is, sir,
hector
you are
somebody.
so you have
You hector
you
some other name.
no,
No, you
Mr.
can't.
No,
You
Mr.
can't
Pula
talk
Rao, you are passing
can I
judgment on who I am and what I am saying,
No,
but
you
you are
should
not
let me
willing to
talk.
say what the SDPI did is
No, you're
wrong.
not letting me
You are
talk.
passing
You can't
judgment
tell
on
me
me
who
as a
made these
person,
arguments.
but you are not willing to say what the
Why?
IUML did
No,
is
I'm
wrong.
sorry.
So then
I'm
who's
sorry,
taking
you're
who's
not letting
taking an
me
unfair
talk.
position?
You're not letting
Madhuvanti
me
ji.
talk. You're not letting me talk. You're letting Madhuvati. You made all these allegations.
All this while only
As if
you
I
have been
no
talking
argument.
over me, sir. You
I have not
you know,
spoken
it's a
much
classic
on this
Goebbels
topic
game.
today.
You are
Talking
hectoring
it.
me and you're telling me I'm
No,
hectoring
I'm not
you.
going
Yes,
to talk.
Madhuvanti.
No, I'm not going to talk. I respect you, but that's not the way.
No, I respect you also
I
too,
will
sir.
talk.
But
I
you
will
should
talk.
also
You can
you
call
should
on
also be
others.
clear on your position, sir. You should not take an
I am
unclear
much
place
more
and an
clear.
evasive
Let me
position on
finish.
certain things which you feel
You
will be
can't-
inconvenient.
you can't
But
hector
take a
me,
position
you
and
hector
no.
others.
So you
No, you
so
can't
you should
hector
also
me.
not. Yes, Madhuvanti ji.
You have no intellectual right.
Madhuvanti ji. You are passing judgment on me, but you will not pass judgment on what the SDPI's actions were, what the IUML's actions were. How fair is that? Madhuvanti ji.
Anand sir,
Madhuvanti
I
ji,
just
can I-
wanted to add. Yes, please, Anand ji, go ahead.
Okay.
You finish
Dr.
it.
Anand,
Thank you.
have
I didn't mean to interject you, but couple of points
Yeah.
come to my mind. Number one, with due respect, Mr. Pula Rao is not passing a judgment on SDPI. Let me remind your viewers, Anand, SDPI is the now, Mr. Rao. I did not
Now,
interrupt.
why are you hectoring him? Why are you speaking? Did he speak when you
I
were
didn't
speaking, Mr.
interrupt.
Pula Rao?
I
So why are you
was just-
interrupting Dr. Ranganathan? Why are you interrupting Dr. Ranganathan? No, so let him speak. No, sir.
After that, I have to
No,
speak.
you are passing
After
opinion
that,
on
I have to
everybody
speak.
and anybody
No, I have
except
to
for the
speak.
SDPI and the
No, if you're
IUML.
not going-
Yes, Dr.
If you're
Ranganathan.
not going to let me
Yes, Dr.
speak after
Ranganathan.
that,
There is Dr. Ranganathan.
I am out. Bye.
Anyway, Anand, can I please continue?
Yeah.
Let me-
Yeah, this SDPI is the political wing of PFI, banned terror organization. For someone to say that, look, SDPI can be right or wrong, what the heck is going on? There's 6 people nearly killed Tejasvi Surya, if you remember, 5 years ago, for 10,000 each. These are the people you are not prepared to say whether they're right or wrong. I mean, I'm astonished by the kind of brainwashing that's going on. And number 2, Mr. Rao is the same person who was not trying to say, who was actually saying that we should not have 40,000 claims of temples taken to court. Now
Correct.
he's saying, very conveniently, I'm all for going to court.
That's exactly
Look
what
at the duplicity.
that's the
And
only
just to
attempt.
add-
Mr. Pula Rao is not there
Just-
right now to
just-
defend
just
himself.
to add-
But that was the duplicity that I was trying to point out,
Just-
saying that
just
you
to
need to have
add-
a position at on both sides. Yes, Madhuvanti ji, 10
Just-
seconds, please. I have big news coming through from Bangladesh. Yeah.
Just to add that if you're talking about Hindus not being inclusive, we have a shrine for Malik Kafur's daughter called Tulukanachiyar Sannadhi in Srirangam, which is one of the biggest Divya Deshams in this country. And the bread from her shrine is what is offered to Perumal as the first fasting when he starts to eat. And when he has a Tirumanjanam, when he has an Abhishek, it's a lungi he wears. So please don't come and teach us Sanatanis and Hindus about inclusivity. Please, for heaven's sake.
This inclusion aspect has to be a two-way street, and respect always has to be a two-way street. If it is a one-way traffic, then it only ends up causing social disharmony. Thank you very much. Big news coming through. I have to go to it straight away.